guys, Kryptonian here, and I've noticed that a lot of newer people are starting to play Dead by Daylight, more specifically in the community that I'm involved in for the Twitch affiliate Discord. Now, even if you're not in that, this video might be able to help you regardless if you're new to Dead by Daylight. But I'm just basically going to go around and show you and talk about how to play Survivor. Best way to learn this game is by playing it, but I figured there's still some things that I could probably teach people. First and foremost, I just like to start out with the rank. So your rank is always going to be up here, and it's reset on the 13th of every single month, and it's all color-coded by rank. So you'll start out at rank 20, and rank 1 being the best rank. Now, there is a... how do I want to put this? A system called pipping. So if you see up there underneath where it says progress, it'll show 3 little diamond shaped things and 2 empty ones. Now the diamond shapes are what we call pips. And every single rank will have a certain degree of pips that you have to hit for you to rank up. And it's really not necessary. I would say if you're new, you shouldn't really worry about rank all that much. I definitely don't, and I've been playing the game for a long time now. Just have fun with the game. You don't have to worry about rank too much because this game is basically a meme now. But the second thing I want to talk about is your loadout. Now, this is all for items. Like, so if I wanted to run a med kit, the med kit will have a specific description on what this med kit has. So it has 24 charges, that's 24 seconds. And then you can do add-ons for it, like you can add an insta-heal or a borrowed time. So when you get hit after you inject yourself with the styptic agent, instead of you going down if you're already injured, you'll automatically get like a mending status, which you'll have to stop and heal yourself real quick before you can fully heal yourself. And the biggest thing I want to talk about is perks. These are your perk slots right here. You'll unlock your perk slots at 5, 10, and 15 level on your character. And perks determine how the game is going to go for you. And the same goes for your teammates. Especially, a lot of people like to play this game with their friends when they're playing Survivor. So you want to pick... Sorry, you don't want to pick certain perks. You want to pick out certain perks from the other characters that you want to unlock. And I would suggest picking, out of all the survivors, pick one that has perks that you like, that fits your play style, and just level her up as much as you can, get all the perks unlocked that you want for that person, and just continue to do that for every other character. Now, I haven't done that specifically for all of my characters, because there is an option where you don't have to just grind blood points, which are these things up here, to unlock stuff in the blood web. You can go to this little thing called the Shrine, so you're going over to the store. And the Shrine of Secrets is where you can go and trade in your iridescent shards for perks. Your iridescent shards are up here next to the blood point. And if you already own them, you can trade in the 2,000 for 150,000 blood points, which I usually save up till I get 4,000 and just keep at progress. Keep doing 2,000 at a time. But that's just another way you can get perks. So you don't have to grind if you don't want to. I mean, you'll still have to grind for the shards, but it's a lot easier for me, just to play killer, get all the blood points, and then go spend them on my survivors. But today's gameplay, I'm going to show you how you should be running away from the killer, what your objective is in the game, and just little stuff like that. If I go over anything and it confuses you, feel free to hit me up on Discord or DM me on Instagram. I'll put the links down in the description. But I'm going to run through what items I'm going to put on, the offering, and then the perks that I'm running. So I'm going to run with the medkit because when you're running solo queue, you can't really depend on your teammates too much to heal you, which is pressing. But every once in a while, you can get some really nice people. So I'm going to put a medkit on, and I'm going to go ahead and add 8 more seconds to my medkit and increase the healing speed. And as far as offerings go, I'm going to do the event blood point offering, which is just giving 104% bonus blood points in all categories for all players in the trial. Every single perk, item, add-on, offering, everything is going to have a little description to tell you what it's used for and how you can use it. So my perk build has been pretty much the same for the past, I don't know, month maybe, but I'll switch it out here and there depending on what challenges I'm doing. So right now I'm running Detective's Hunch, which every time a generator is popped or is completed within a 64-meter range for 10 seconds, totems and chests are revealed to me. So I can go cleanse a totem or open a chest if I need another med kit or what have you. Spine Chill. So whenever the killer is looking directly in my direction and standing within a 36-meter range, Spine Chill will go off and let me know that he's coming my way. And the skill check trigger odds aren't necessarily that big a deal. Skill checks will come to you with time. You just have to get used to the timing of it. So as soon as you hear the sound of when the skill check is coming, that's when you want to like just prepare yourself and keep your eye on the screen. I would always recommend positioning your camera in a way that you can always see the skill check circle. Adrenaline, so if I'm on the ground, that's called dying state. As soon as the last generator is popped, I get healed 1 health state. So I'll be injured, but I'll still be up. So the killer either has to go for a different survivor or he has to go for me because he knows I'm weak. And even if you're injured and the last generator pops, you will be fully healed with adrenaline. And I like it. It comes in pretty clutch most games, I'd say. And then my last one is called Borrowed Time. So whenever a survivor is hooked and you're in the killer terror's radius, which you'll either hear, depending on the killer, you'll hear music or you'll hear just a heartbeat and some basic chase music, because all the newer killers have their own chase music. But if the killer is in the area, in the killer's terror radius, for 15 seconds when you unhook somebody, that person has borrowed time. So if the killer decides to run after that unhooked person, since he's injured, and it's called tunneling, I'm sure you guys already knew that, but if he smacks her, he'll get like a little sprint burst, and he has 20 seconds to mend himself. So he has 20 seconds to get rid of that bloody crap off his screen, which if I run into it, I'll be able to show you what it looks like. But it's a really nice perk, especially in today's meta, because a lot of killers do tunnel. I don't call it tunneling because when you're the killer, you have to do a lot of things to ensure that you win the game. And there's a lot of arguments about like how you win the game as far as killer, whether it's getting 4 kills a game or hipping in a game, so like ranking up. And I prefer to get the points. So even if you don't escape, it's fine. We're just gonna go ahead and load into a match. And the same thing goes for Survivor. Surviving is the objective. That's your main objective, is to get generators done and then open the exit gates. But even if you don't escape through the exit gates or through the hatch, it's okay. It's fine. Like, it's not that big a deal. As long as you get the X amount of points per trial, depending on what rank you're on, you'll be fine. I'd say that's the more important part, because that shows your skill level. Skill isn't making it out alive. Actually, I kind of take that back. It does take a little bit of skill to escape through the exit gate or the hatch. It just depends on your timing and how the way you play. But playing Survivor doesn't take a whole lot of skill. You only have one objective. Technically 2 if you count totems, because you should every time you see a totem, do a totem. There's a perk called No One Escapes Death for killer that whenever the last generator is completed, it'll be activated, and if there's 1 totem left on the map, then everybody on the map is 1 hit. So even if you're fully healed and the killer smacks you, you will immediately go into the dying state. So if you see a totem, do a totem, because they're not going to take it out of the game, no matter how much you want them to. Just not going to do it, and that's fine, because it's a good perk to have, and you can do a lot of different perk builds with that perk. But I'm gonna make a separate video and talk about Killer and all that, because Killer is a lot harder than Survivor, hands down. Even though there are some people who would say that Survivor's harder. It's okay to think they're both equally hard. In my personal experience, I find Killer to be a lot harder just because I've played Survivor for so long, just used to it. But I'm still a pretty decent Killer. I'll show you that in another video. We're going to load into our map here pretty soon. Hopefully we get a good one. But that's relative, if anything. The only map I really don't want is the new one, which is Midwich Elementary School for the Silent Hill chapter. It's just not a good Survivor map. But it's okay. It's still cool looking. The game! This is also a very tough map on Survivor's part. But first thing you want to do when you load in, don't do what he's doing and just crouch walk everywhere. You want to look for a gen as soon as possible and start working on it. And how you find a gen is you'll see these blinking lights around. You'll know one's near. Okay, so we're going up against a spirit. My spine chill just went off because she was coming in our direction. We're just going to hop back on the gen. If the killer is not on you, stay on the gen, because that is your objective. You'll see the little cat is spine chill, and every time he's like looking in my direction, it'll light up. Yeah, he is. Sees the Meg. And I'm gonna go back on the gen because it's just her first hook, and that's okay because it'll still take a while. That's not good. Now, since it's her first hook, I'm almost done with this gen. My priority is going to be the generator, because we want to make sure that we get out alive. And on this map, it's a little difficult. Gonna pick her up. Nope, we found somebody else. Yikes. Okay, I'm gonna get this gen, and we're gonna go over and get this man. Now, depending on your situation, heal the person on site, except if they run away. But now he's thinking that he's going to get him up. He should be fully recovered. Almost. We can heal him in time, so that's not a big deal. But you always, even if you don't have spine chill, you constantly want to be looking around to see where the killer's at. Now, she might have a perk called Barbecue and Chili. Get out of the way, please. Which is every time she hooks somebody, she can see the auras of the survivors. But you're behind me. Okay, so I knew she was going to swing through that, so I threw down the pallet. Now she's probably going to fake. Yep. Oh no! So she didn't fake. She did fake at first, but then she decided to actually come at me. So that was a premature pallet throw. My LB button's not working. Keep running! Oh, she got me. My charger, or my controller needs to be charged. But when it comes to looping, you want to run. Don't do what I just did right there and just throw down the pallet, because that's a really good pallet. And you want to loop the killer as long as you can before you throw down a pallet. And it's usually about 2 or 3 times you can run around before you throw it down. And you want to throw the pallet down right as they're about to swing. So as soon as you see their arm raise up and they're going to come through that pallet, smack it down. And it'll stun the killer for like 3 seconds. Which doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it can still give you enough time to get farther away from the killer. Alright, I'm gonna run up here because she's right there. My LB button's not working. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead and heal. Okay, so what you just heard in that little skull on my screen is called Haunted Grounds. It is a spirit perk, so whenever you see a totem that is lit, it could be either Hex Ruin, Devour Hope, Third Seal, or it could be Haunted Grounds. And once the Haunted Grounds totem is cleansed, that means everybody is one hit for, I think, depending on what level it's at, about 2 minutes. Maybe less. Probably less, I'd say. I'm gonna have to plug my controller in after this match. Haunted Grounds is still up. I'm gonna go for a save. Don't be afraid to take a hit. Like, that is probably, I would say, one of the most important rules. Alright, let me heal you. But it seems we got a spirit who likes to stay near the hook. And that's technically camping, but I don't really care. We only have one gen done. So I'm gonna go work on another gen. And let them do all the saving. First I gotta find another gen. There's one, there we go. He's getting chased. Wonder if he's still around that hook. But I'm gonna let the Fang take care of it because I need to work on gens. Because I personally don't like going against the spirit. I am terrible against her on most occasions. There are very few games where I actually survive from her. Not to say that she's overpowered, she's definitely not. There are definitely ways that you can outrun the spirit. It's just all about timing and mixed with luck and skill. The most skill you're gonna do is, as far as playing Survivor goes, the most skill is going to be looping the killer. Other than that, not too much. But as you can see, I'm just sitting here holding RB, hitting LB. Not that difficult. That's good. That means I can get this generator done. Okay, he's over there. Another gen all the way over here, which I'm going to go to. Which is the bathroom, which is probably the scariest generator you can do, but if you can get it done, that's the one you want to get done first. Oh, it's already almost done. Nice. Alright, so that's 2 people dead. Generally, what usually happens, especially if you're running solo, is you and the last person are basically gonna fight on who gets the hatch, which I don't really recommend against. Just try to get the gens done as fast as you can. And don't worry about the hatch, because it's not fair for the other player or for you, because if I know this game, this person is probably hiding somewhere, so they wait for me to die. And on this specific map, the hatch always spawns on the bottom floor. Always. Okay, so she's checking generators right now. Now there's a gen over here in the middle somewhere. There it is. Okay, so I think he's getting chased. And she found it. So, oh, she found me. Oh, she's got Noed. See? What did I say? You see a totem, you do a totem. Because otherwise, battle happens. The exit gates are powered, so Noed activates, and that means you're dead. that wasn't a really good example of being able to loop the killer. I think my controller's dying, so I'm gonna plug it up real quick. Oh, she's letting me go. How nice. Nah, I don't want the medkit. You can have it. I got plenty of them. Well, thanks, Spirit. Okay, and I will say, if you are new and you're watching this video, always go over and check to see if you pip or de-pip. And you can see what you did throughout the game by looking at these, emblems? Yeah, emblems. And they're all different. So Evader is how you can outrun the killer, or how well you outrun the killer, I should say, and if you lose them in a chase. Benevolent is when you are being altruistic, when you unhook people or you're healing somebody. And then you have Unbroken, so it's a matter of escaping a trial without being down multiple times. And to get that above silver, you have to at least go down once and escape, or you can go down twice and escape. I believe that's how that works. But if you go down more than that and you don't escape, it's gonna be either a bronze or a silver. Then you have Lightbringer, which depends on how many generators and totems you cleanse. So I would spend most of your time either doing generators or looking for totems. If you see that multiple people are on generators, you can go ahead and look for totems. And they'll be mostly in corners where they're not usually visible. Not super visible, but a lot are pretty obvious. But I'll be able to dive further into that. I'll make a separate video about totem hunting. Then, once you're done looking at that, go all the way over to the right. And you want to look at the killer's perks to familiarize yourself with what different perks the killer can have at each time. Because this spirit has 2 different perks from 2 different killers, including her own. And it's always good to just kind of like read them and see what they can do and familiarize yourself. Okay, so we're going to do one more game because I'm going to try to show you how you should loop versus how you shouldn't loop. Which you should be able to see from my last game, but I'm still going to show you in the same match just to kind of show you how it should look. And I also did change one of my perks. I took out Detective's Hunch for Urban Evasion, because if you are new, I suggest using this perk. I suggest playing Nia because she has her 3 perks that you start out with are pretty damn good in my opinion, especially Urban Evasion. So if you're not looking to run the killer around so much, you can put on Urban Evasion, which will help you crouch faster, and you'll be able to duck behind stuff or behind trees, and kind of just like walk around them if the killer's looking that direction, and then you can move the opposite way as the killer's going. So yeah, we're gonna try that out, because when I first started this game, I immediately picked Nia because I saw that perk, and I was like, ooh, I can play immersive. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. And since then, I've gotten better at running the killer around for a little bit, and I'm not going to say I'm the best player at Survivor, because there are definitely people way better than me, but I can outrun the killer at a pretty decent rate, depending on... Well, not depending on anything, it just depends on how I play, obviously. So we're going to hope that we get not a Spirit this time, because she is a little hard to play against. But maybe I'll make different videos, if this one does well, against every single killer that I go against. That way it'll be more informative for you. The game again, what luck is that? But an unsafe pallet will usually have a shorter distance around it. So if you're like that pallet right there. Or actually, this is a pretty safe pallet because it's got a long, this is an L shape right here. So before you want to throw it down, you want to run behind it, run around it, different ways, as many different ways as you can, excuse me, and then you want to throw it down. So the killer we're going against right now is the Plague, because you can see this little fountain right here. Alright. Oh, she's got a... So the plague, whenever she throws up on you multiple times, she'll put you into what is called the broken status effect. Try to run her around a little bit here. So she swung at that, and you just kind of want to keep running around. Oh, somebody quit. That's awesome. So we're gonna run to one of these highlighted things and cleanse ourselves. We don't make anybody else sick right now, because we only have 5. No gens are done yet. So this is already starting out pretty bad. But what I did there around that pallet was a perfect example of what you should do. You don't want to like just sit at the pallet, of course. But considering I was already injured, or well, sick, if I got hit, I would be injured. Then wait for her to run around again. Okay, so she's not. She's right there. So I'm gonna go over here up top so I can start doing a generator. Another thing you want to keep in mind is that when you're running around like this, you will leave what are called scratch marks on the ground, which are like red lines, basically. And you want to be careful about how much you run in the game. And you obviously want to be able to run away from the killer. Okay, so she lost the Steve. You obviously want to run away from the killer, or run around the map to find gens, I should say. But you also want to make sure that you're not leading the killer straight to you. That is imperative. So we're just going to go ahead and start this gen. Somebody else cleanse. Now, whenever you cleanse, it's technically a power-up for the plague. So instead of her throwing up on you with green, which will just make you more sick until you get the broken status effect, which means that you just can't be healed until you cleanse. She'll get this red bile purge. So whenever she does throw up on you, it will injure you. So with 2 hits, you'll immediately go down. It sounds scarier than it is, because it's pretty easy to evade as long as you're running around something and you can duck behind something. It seems that we'll be able to get this first gen done. I don't know why that guy quit, or unless his internet cut out on him, so that kind of sucks. Now, on different maps, it's smarter not to do the same. Like, if you have 2 gens next to each other on the same side of the map, you don't want to do them together right away, because you want to... What the fuck? I didn't even... I don't understand. But you don't want to do one gen and then go to the gen next to it, because you don't want to put yourself on the same side of the map. You don't want to have the last 2 gens, or last 3 gens I should say, right next to each other. You want to have them spread out a bit more. So whenever you get done with one gen, you want to run to the other side of the map. Okay, so she's coming here, I think. Nice hit, nice hit. Okay, now we're gonna stop and heal real quick. She's not going after me. Since that other person was unhooked, she's going after him. Which is kind of smart, because the Plague is kind of a slow character to play as. Everything about her is pretty slow unless you have specific add-ons. So that little high-pitched sound you just heard, she grabbed some of her Vile Purge, which is, as you can see, once you cleanse, it turns red. So now everybody will be 1 or 2 hits, or will be 2 hits. Now we gotta be careful. Okay, so now I'm sick. Ain't a big deal. Oh, dead end. I hear a gen up here. I'm gonna get on it. As you'll see, it'll start to have this green smoke stuff coming from it. Oh, well, not yet, I'm not fully sick. But once you're fully sick, you will be able to basically, what's the word? Contaminate gen. So whenever somebody else touches it, they'll get sick too. Alright, so I need to go cleanse now. And usually I'd say that cleansing is not that big a deal. You want to wait until you're a decent amount away from the killer, or if your team's doing really good, then you don't have to worry about cleansing so much. But considering the fact that one person's DC'd and these guys are going down pretty quickly, it's just better to cleanse. Dead end. You still miss. And you want to get better at looking behind you while you run. Okay, I got stuck there. That's my fault. I stopped getting stuck. So she stopped there because she knew I'd throw that pallet. Just smart on her end. Now I gotta run and find a different way to loot. Don't have a lot of options. Miss me. Buy me a little time. Okay, she lost me, kind of. What I want to do now is I just kind of want to walk away. But she's chasing somebody else. So now I need to find. Oh, there's one over there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to jump on the gen. We need to get some gens done. It's going to be a long video. I apologize. But I feel like I'm showing off how you should run the killer around in this match better than the last one. Like I said, I'm not too good against spirits. But a really big thing when you're being chased by the killer, you want to get used to looking behind you while you're being chased. Because that is essential. That way you can always keep your eye on where the killer is and how close the killer is to you. Rest in peace. Plague's got pretty good map pressure, I'd say. Okay, still first hook, not a big deal. Not a big. I'd say the only issue with this game is that she has a perk called Hex Ruin, and what that does is that whenever you're repairing a generator and you let go of it, the generator will immediately start regressing. It'll start taking away the progress that you've made it. And the Hex Ruin is going to be lit totem. So it's going to be on fire. Okay, so as you're watching that gen, she's got her Vile Purge because she's glowing red, so we got to be careful about that. You're going to be cheeky and hide behind the corner. Oh my god. smart because she knows I've been dodging her puke left and right. It's a dead end. I don't know why I did that again. Probably gonna go down here. Or she's just not gonna chase me again. But I'm gonna go ahead and get like right here. This is a pretty decent pallet. I could run her around. I don't know if I can get fully healed though. She left. Let me fully heal, let me fully heal, let me fully heal, let me fully heal. Yeah, we did it. Hello, Cheryl. Hello. Alright, you're gonna get the save. I'm gonna go ahead and drop down. And get this generator. I'm trying to get this generator for what seems like forever. Not this gen, but the other one. Well, we should be able to get both of them done in time. Okay, so there should be one more gen upstairs, I think. So she knows I might go back to that other generator. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go upstairs, where she will least expect me to be. Dead end. Totem? Totem. Do the totems. They may have no ed, they might not, but it also gives you points. So it's always worth it. Alright, maybe there isn't a gen upstairs left. Maybe they did them already. I want to go ahead and save the oh, Cheryl's dead. Never mind. Take it back. Okay, so the last gens are downstairs. I think it was the one I was doing. Yeah, it was. I think she's gonna come check this one. Maybe? I don't know. It's gonna take me a while to get this gen done, though. Ah, that was bad. Dead end. Yep, and as you can see, since I was already injured, it set me down pretty quickly. But it wouldn't matter anyway. So Steve just hopped in a locker. Now what he's doing that for is for the perk called Barbecue and Chili. So whenever the killer hooks the survivor, if you are 40 meters away from the hook, you'll be able to see the other survivor's auras for X amount of seconds, depending on if you have it maxed out or not. But you can max out every perk at 3 levels. You'll see those little dashes above my perks. That means they're maxed out. So they're at their max potential. And Steve is basically just gonna hide until I die. Because I think he found the hatch, and he's waiting for me to die. Instead of coming to save me, which never do. You die together, or you survive together. But he seems to be too scared to move, so I'm just going to go ahead and let go. Then we're going to go ahead and spectate him, because I really want to see if he got hatched. Yep, he found it. And now he's just going to sit around and wait for Plague to find out where it is, so he can teabag and run away. So I'm not going to worry about that. But that is the end of the video. So if you found it informative, please let me know in the comment section below, or hit me up on Discord or Instagram. That'll also be in the description. And thank you very much. See you in the next video.